Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, finally back with part 3 of my message for the Made by Dyslexia organization. Hope people enjoy it, especially those with dyslexia or who are connected to dyslexia, like parents, families, teachers, and whatnot. Thought I might just cover a side note. As I've mentioned on this channel quite a few times, I'm a big fan of football, especially Italian football and Celtic. And when I say any Newcastle fans out there who might stumble across this video, congratulations on being bought out by the wealthiest owner of football clubs in the world at the moment. So I'm a bit gutted because, or I'm a bit jealous of you or envious, but I do wish you well. I know Newcastle as a club has not done that great recently, and like it's been through quite a lot, and it's probably quite a deprived city, and it's quite, I think Newcastle is quite cool, but as a fan of Italian football, I was hoping they would buy out Inter instead. But anyway, that's a side note. Sorry for going a bit off topic, but anyway, this video really, as I say, is for, as you can probably tell, is for people with dyslexia really, as well as anyone who's got relatives or family members who are dyslexic, and teachers or anyone who's interested in dyslexia. And hopefully from next week, I will find a way to connect with other YouTubers and like collaborate on projects like YouTubers from Africa and around the world, and especially those with dyslexia, and as it's Black History Month, also those from the Black diaspora. So if you're interested, please let me know, and hopefully we can find a way to collaborate. And I hope to start that from the 11th, from Monday the 11th. Anyway, I'm going to try and crack on with this video. Please check out part 1 and 2 if you haven't already done so, parts 1 and 2 if you haven't already done so. And yeah, hopefully Italian football clubs and Celtic will get wealthy owners and sponsors and shareholders, equity holders, and that sort of thing. On a side note, I know that's not quite dyslexia related, although as I mentioned before, also I'd love for dyslexic people to talk about our ideas and like how we could benefit things like Italian football and Celtic, as I'm a fan of those things, as those clubs, and our creativity, how we can use that creativity. So I hope to somehow encourage as many dyslexics as possible to do that, or neurodiverse people. Anyway, cracking on with my video. Obviously this is my third video of today, of today technically, but yeah, sorry. Anyway, cracking on with my video. I'll start from point number 21 because I covered parts 1 to 20 in my first couple of videos. So number 21, I would love once again to recap an idea I was talking about before. I'd love for people to discuss the positive traits of dyslexia mainly, and what we can contribute to economies with our creative ideas. Like I say, as a fan of Italian football, I'd love to see what dyslexic people, both inside and outside of Italy, can contribute to Italian football, and possibly generally sports in general, for different countries, like even in terms of sports generally, like even countries like America, what they could do by investing in and encouraging their dyslexic people, but also how countries could benefit from investing in dyslexic entrepreneurs, creative people, ideas people, and things like that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits in investing in dyslexics. Number 22, I think it'd be really cool if the next Richard Branson or Charles Schwab or Craig McCaw or Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, the late founder of IKEA, or people like that who are dyslexic who create businesses, I think it'd be great if the next one of those, or the next version of those, came from Asia or Africa or Ireland. So we're dyslexic people from across Asia, Africa, Ireland, and places like that, who could benefit their countries. I think it'd be quite interesting, as I say. Number 23, I think it'd be great if dyslexic organizations looked at ways, on that note, to fundraise, especially for people with dyslexia from developing countries. For instance, dyslexics from Africa and Asia, as I mentioned before in my previous videos, but just in case anyone might have missed those ideas, or to remind people, including myself, it'd be great to invest in or fundraise for, and generally fund and support dyslexic entrepreneurs in Africa, across Africa and Asia and Ireland. I think that'd be quite a cool thing to do. And also, as I mentioned in my second video of today, what it was talking about Rare Gem and Dyslexia Organization Kenya. I hope that organization should organizations such as Made by Dyslexia, the Festival of Dyslexic Culture, and others will look at ways to, dyslexic organizations around the world will look at ways to support dyslexic organization of the dyslexic organizations in Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and the rest of Asia, especially Singapore, DAS, Dyslexia Association of Singapore, and like look at ways to connect all those together, and also, as I say, across Asia, and also Dyslexia Organisation of Kenya, the D.O.K, or Rare Gem, and schools like that, dyslexia friendly schools. So it'd be great to fundraise for those and help young people from those countries to learn about business, so they can help lift their countries up financially and help to reduce poverty and solve problems. Number 24, I think that'd be especially cool for developing countries, as I say, or as an anti-imperialist, also for countries that were colonized, which are often those are the sort of the same. Number 25, as I mentioned before, I'm a republic supporter, so I do support republics, but I know there are quite a few, does bring a bit of dilemma, because there are quite a few dyslexic royals in the UK and in Sweden, I think in Norway as well, and other countries. There are, or certainly those three countries, the UK, Sweden and Norway, I think, or at least two or three countries where there are at least two or three countries where there are dyslexic royals. As a Republican, that does give a dilemma, because I want to support dyslexics, but I also want to support republics. But yeah, as I say, as I'm a supporter of republics, I'd love for dyslexic people to mainly support republics. That's a bit of a bias of mine. I know other people might have different opinions. Of course, there are dyslexics who are royalists or have different ideas than me, or compared different ideas to me, sorry, and that sort of thing. But number 26, once again, I would love to support people I'd love to encourage my fellow dyslexics to support, especially dyslexics from countries that were colonized, again, or developing countries, again, which are normally one and the same, generally speaking. But yeah, to help them to become financially empowered and to do well. So countries that were, as I say, as an anti-imperialist, my opinion would be to support countries. My preference would be to support countries, generally speaking, that were colonized. And I know I'm putting forward my own personal opinions, but yeah, I think it would be cool, in my opinion, to support countries, as I say, that were colonized, and especially dyslexics from those countries, such as Kenya or India, places like that. And again, Celtic, as I mentioned before, because they are from a group that was marginalised or has gone through sort of oppression historically, because they were Irish immigrants, so they were escaping famine, and then they suffered prejudice in Scotland, in Glasgow mainly. And also, I think it would be great for Italian football and Celtic. I know the Italian football thing is a bit of a contradiction, because Italy is quite an imperialistic country, but that is one of the few countries that I support in spite of them being imperialistic. Yeah, I think it'd be great to raise awareness of dyslexia through Italian football, as a fan of Italian football, and also through Celtic. So I think it would be great if Celtic could get involved in dyslexia projects, and in the future maybe have like little football tournaments for young dyslexic people to play against each other, or like a miniature World Cup or things like that, all sorts of fundraising events which they could record onto YouTube, and a bit like our own version of Serie, but especially for dyslexic people, especially in developing countries, to set up their own businesses and things like that. Number 27, I think it'd be great to encourage companies, organizations, and that sort of thing, or even individuals, to support dyslexics as part of their legacy, and like it could be something they could feel honored about, or they could use as part of their PR. And it would be great to acknowledge those companies that have done well for dyslexic people, and that sort of thing. And number 28, hopefully dyslexic can make the world a better place by solving problems through our creativity, and that kind of thing. And I'd love to encourage investors, potential investors like Berkshire Hathaway, Cascade Investment, and other investment vehicles, even the P.I.F, Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, and other countries and investment funds or sovereign wealth funds to learn about the strengths of dyslexic people in business and other areas. So they would invest in dyslexics on an international level, and it'd be great to raise awareness internationally. Yeah, I think it'd be great if they saw that dyslexic people can be good in areas like business or things like that. So they will invest, if they would invest in dyslexics, maybe even together, maybe even get tax exemptions for doing so. And I would love to see dyslexics get tax exemptions on the condition that they invest in their fellow dyslexics. So people like Richard Branson would not pay so much tax, or maybe get as many tax cuts or incentives or exemptions as possible for not being able to speak properly in my case. But sorry, so in return for investing in dyslexic people around the world, especially from disadvantaged backgrounds, including in the UK and the US and Europe, but also all around the world, especially in developing countries. And it'd be great to see dyslexics in STEM and other areas and look at what we can contribute. I'd love to hear from other stories about successful dyslexics and who are successful in their chosen areas, and depending on how you define success, but have reached the pinnacle of their chosen fields and what they've contributed, basically success stories and things like that. And number 29, again, I'm putting forward a few of my biased ideas, like to do with Italian football and things like that. But yeah, so I hope to hear from other dyslexics as well, and talk about dyslexics of colour or from diverse backgrounds as well, or people of colour with dyslexia and things like that. And number 30, again, I think it'd be great to see companies maybe even coming together and working together, networking together to invest in dyslexics at a larger level, because I know there are already organizations or companies that invest in dyslexic people in specific countries, but I think it'd be great if that was done globally and they could network together, find out about the strengths of dyslexic people, again, get tax exemptions for doing so, and do so in terms of a specific project to see what dyslexic people can do to contribute to their countries, like Kenya, places like that, to lift their countries out of poverty or make the countries wealthier and better off, of course. And again, maybe there could be tax exemptions for doing so. And yeah, I think that would be great to see. And I think there was something I was going to say, but I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I know that Made by Dyslexia and others have talked about the dyslexic advantage, and others, for instance, have talked about the positive sides of dyslexia and what strengths we have, like creativity, innovation, ideas, and things like that. I think that more people who find out about that and the value of dyslexia, which Made by Dyslexia talks about rather brilliantly, the better it will be for people to treat dyslexic people better. I know we have a lot to contribute. Anyway, I'm out. Peace and love.